To you today, I'll speak to you. So if you guys have additional questions for me, I'm happy to answer anything you have.
Coach, it's a 4-point deficit at halftime, and then Clemson goes out that 9-0 run. It seems like you guys were never really able to get back in the game. What do you feel like changed from halftime?
Well, we turned the ball over the first possession on the back court with our two guards with no one around us. So that's a start. And then we made a defensive mistake, first play, and they got a wide open three. And it seemed like every time they made any mistake, they always made their shots. And to give them credit, they started the game 7 for 7 to the 3-point line, and then we proceeded to start missing layups and wide open threes. And so a game like this, those when you miss a layup and they go down and hit a three, those 5-point swings add up very quickly. And we turned the ball over 16 times. So without Boopy Miller, our point guard, our two guards, BJ and Chuck, have to handle the ball every possession, and it wears them down. They're tired, and we had 16 as a team.
They made some threes late in the shot clock, but they also made some open threes. How do you look at your team's role in that? Almost 50%.
Well, we've been playing pretty good defense. Wednesday night we played great defense against Notre Dame, and defensively really improved. The first half, Zachary was the guy that was hurting us, and Hunter's our leading scorer, but Zachary stepped up and made, I think it was 5 for his first 5. I think he had 15 points at halftime on 5 for 5. So that's pretty good shooting in warm-ups, let alone during a game. So some we closed out late. Sometimes they got us in rotation, but we had our open looks too. We got them in rotation, and it seemed like every time we took an open shot, we didn't make it, and they did. And so give them credit. I thought they came out and did what they had to do to get the lead.
When did you know Boopy wouldn't be available for you guys?
Well, he's had the same foot issue here for since before the Wake Forest game. So now we played 3 games without him. And certainly, as you can see, we miss him with our ball handling and our speed, and he leads us in scoring and assists. And he's improved his defense significantly. He's been very disruptive. We won 5 in a row, and him playing at a high level. So now we got to change our style, and also puts a lot of pressure on the other guards, because they get a little worn out without Boopy in there.
Along those lines, when you have to ask Chuck and BJ to play more minutes, do you therefore reduce what you ask of them simply because you're?
No, they have to go play, and then Tibet has the flu. So our backup, our third string point guard, Tibet, who's actually been playing very well. He played about 15, 16 minutes against Notre Dame on Wednesday. He has the flu, so he didn't have him tonight either. So we had our leader Boopy and then Tibet out. So but we're not, we told it, no one cares. So it's not an excuse. It's just reality, right? It's just reality. We miss Boopy and his playmaking and his speed and his creativity. And but the reality is. Guys that played hard today. We just didn't play well enough.
One of the guys who's taken on a larger role in the last few games, AJ George, only had a couple of points tonight, but he looked like he gave you some energy off the bench, including on the defensive end. Can you talk a little about just his patience, waiting his turn, and then his evolution since he's
he
got
was
more
great
minutes?
against Wake Forest. He came in, and we didn't have Boopy, so he played about 6 or 7 minutes. He came in and played really well against Wake Forest, and then played about 15, 16 minutes against Notre Dame. He played very well, had 7 points, some crucial rebounds, and then tonight I think he played 18, almost 19 minutes. So his minutes have increased as our numbers were shorthanded. So he's really done a good job of playing terrific defense and playing very hard. And he's a good basketball player. And sometimes when you have 13 guys on your team, you have good players that don't get enough chances or as many chances as some of the other guys. So I'm very proud of him. He's a really good kid, very hard worker, and he's a good player.
You're 5th in the ACC, and you got 20 wins, but you got these losses to the teams in front of you.
That's why we're tied for 4th, because we lost to teams above us.
Right.
So,
how damaging do you think those are?
Well, I mean, Wake Forest lost today, so we're tied with them, I think, for 4th, and we're 11-5 and 20-7 overall. So it's a very good record. We lost to the teams above us, and that's why we're where we are in the standings. We didn't lose anybody else except North Carolina on the road. So we have a lot to play for here. We have a big road trip here to the Bay Area. We come home and play Syracuse, our last home game, and then we go out to Florida State. So we got a lot to play for. To have 20 wins at this point in the season is a credit to our players. Our goal on Wednesday night was to go win our 20th game, and not too many people thought this team could do that preseason. We were picked 13th in the ACC, and to go in there and win our 20th game, be 20-6 going into today was pretty good for them, and we're very proud of our players for that. They've really come together. Now we've lost a couple of tough games here at home, which is frustrating because usually you like to win your home games, and but when you play at home, your best players have to play well, and they have to play very well. We made some mistakes tonight, and we lost to a very good Clemson team.
Do you have any indication whether you'll have Boopy or Tibet when you go west this week?
I would assume Tibet would be back because he had a flu, which is probably a 3 or 4 day thing. So I'm sure he'll be back. Hopefully, probably be a little weak here next couple of days. But it's Boopy. It's day to day. It's a pain tolerance. He had a foot injury 3 years ago, and so we're being very careful. He's being very the doctors, and we're hoping for the best for him. But his number one priority is his health, and trying to get him as healthy as possible.
With this trip, California back west for you, just what do you kind of try and do to regroup for a couple big road ones?
Yeah, the big road games. I mean, we're 6-1 on the road. The easy trip for us. We know what hotels to stay in, or where to eat, the good food, and where not to go. Been doing it for 11 years in the West Coast. So the Bay Area is a nice trip. Cal and then Stanford, and so we gotta go compete. And our players have done a great job on the road of staying focused. We've come out, and we're 6-1 in the ACC on the road this year. It's very, very good for this team, and we hope it continues. But we know every game is going to be a battle.
How different is it? You've done it once with Virginia, but for the most part, it's been facing teams once. It'll be the second time facing these guys. How does that go into how you game plan and take adjustments from the first one?
It was interesting. The first time we played Cal, Smet didn't play, neither did their big kid or Stojakovic, so it'll be a little different game with some different players on the court. Stanford, we played very well here. I'm sure they'll be ready for us. So we just have to do what we do well, and that's defend and then get the ball to our playmakers and try to make some shots.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you for coming.